Everyone, it's Yogi here. I hope you're well. And it's Saturday. Yes, it's our early SAL every Saturday, most Saturdays. And I know. And this is the piece I'm stitching today. And I hope you're well. I've been enjoying your Saturday. I think guys in the UK. I don't know about the rest of Europe, maybe only UK. This weekend is bank holiday, meaning that Monday is also a national holiday as well. So um, the sunlight, I'm not going to talk about weather now, okay? I was talking about how nice UK weather has been in our member stream. And lo and behold, as I was speaking and, bragging about it, and it started raining. So it's actually quite wet outside. So I'll take it back, okay? It's all normal, nothing to talk about, nothing to see here. But I hope you enjoy your Saturday so far, or maybe for some of you, it's Sunday, and you're ready for a start of stitching with Yogi. You know, with this piece, I have to confess, guys, I've been living a lie. What? SOS? Sal? Oh dear. I did it again. I did it again. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's all good. It's all good. And once again, I fell into the fishbowl. Okay, I've been, I just came out of a submarine. Yes, it's all good. Yes, so I was thinking, what is going on? We are online. Yes, I sounded like I was in a submarine, didn't I? Or a fishbowl of something. No, it's not my mic, it's me. So what happened was the mic, the mic was connected. Shall we start again? And it's part of the yogi stream experience, okay? Just glitches in the universe. And it happens quite frequently. So much better, isn't it? It's nice when you actually point the microphone towards yourself rather than on the floor. It was on the floor. So I've got this wireless mic that I attach on myself. So it's attached on me, but the cable wasn't. The microphone wasn't. Yes, thank you for raising alarm. Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear. Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. I was about to confess, actually. And I don't know how much you heard when when my microphone was on the floor. And so with this piece, guys, I've been living a lie, all right? So this piece is a little cake shop. And if you don't know already, where have you been? And this is by Aimee Stewart, all right? And let me just show you the markup here so we can start from here, okay? Here we go. Beautiful, isn't it? And just like any other Aimee Stewart piece or HAED patterns, they're beautifully charted, very intricate. With Aimee Stewart, the beautiful thing is she's got patterns that are just perfect for someone like me, stitching little objects everywhere, a lot going on. It's so fun and pretty, and I love this piece. I've been stitching it probably over 3 years, okay? But this piece, if you've been following me on this piece for the last few streams, you probably noticed I kept mentioning the fact that I finally got to the cakes, didn't I? I went on and on and on about, oh, finally I got to stitch the cakes. And indeed, that was true, okay? But I've been hiding a terrible secret from you. I've been trying to escape an area that's long overdue for stitching, but I've been running away from. And you probably notice there's an elephant in a room with this piece. And today I've cordoned it off for you. And that is dun, dun, dun here. Have a look at this. All right. This area has been vacant for about probably 6 months. And I've been running away from it. Every time I stitch this piece, I move to a completely different area and go, ta-da, let's stitch some cakes. But you know, you can run, but you can't hide. And today is one of those days. And I'm going to face the reality, okay? This is a big fast square here. It's been, you know, empty for a little while. I think today's the day. Yes, Grace says the dreaded ceiling. Today's the day I'm going to face up to reality and do some work, okay? Are you with me? Are you going to, you know, provide the moral support that I need for this? Okay, so we'll come back and I'll talk to you a little bit more about this piece. Let me just quickly show you my progress so far. And I did say I've been working on this piece for probably over 3 years. But you know what it's like. There are always new projects and other projects to kind of cycle around. So this is where I am. I would say it's not too shabby for my full coverage of my full size Heaven and Earth. This is probably the most advanced pattern project as far as percentage is concerned. I started from upper left, as you can see, quite a lot of ceiling and walls, but they're not plain walls. We're not talking about block stitching. We're talking about intricate things on the wall, on the ceiling. And I finally got to my little cake here, okay? But today is not about cakes. Today is about the infrastructure supporting the existence of this cake, of these cakes. So this is where I am, and the offending area is obviously here. It's been vacant for a little while, as I said, at least 6 months. And so I'm going to show you my progress. The last time, okay, so I'm going to quickly hide my last session. It was back in April sometime, in the beginning of April, I worked on this piece, and I was working on the little cake, okay. So in terms of progress, not bad at all, 15.45. It looks quite modest, but for me, full coverage, this one is probably the most advanced. With mini ones, I've got one pattern that's 20%, but for full coverage, this is the most advanced. And this is one of my first full coverage Heaven and Earth as well. One of the maybe top 2 or maybe 3. And this is max color, of course. And on the title today, I did mention that this is probably one of the most confetti piece that I've come across, you know, as far as heaven and earth goes. And totally, because majority of my pieces, of my webs from Heaven and Earth, they're full size, and full colors as well. And this one as well, 238, so 2 colors short from the max 240 colors. But the number of colors is not a problem. It's the composition of the stitches. Okay, so let me start to sprint here quickly, and we can get started. All right, so this is going to capture every single stitch I'm going to make today, and at the end of see how it goes today. At the end of every stream, I share a number with you, full transparency. Okay, here we go. And of course, I want to say hello to all of you. Thank you for joining me today, and a lot of happy return from the last stream as well, for members. And we've got Rajal says hello and happy stitching. Welcome back, Rajal. Great to see you. And Linda is also here as well. Second to report to the chat. Well done. Linda says hello everyone. Happy Saturday stitching indeed. Hopefully today is happy stitching with me. Okay, let's see how it goes. And handmade as well. Yes, handmade has got it. So at the end of the members stream, I asked everybody to guess and see which one which project I'm going to be stitching. And handmade was the only person, maybe 1 or 2 actually got it. So, and I do have quite a few Aimee Stewart pieces. So, and well done, handmade. And I think handmade got it last time as well with Grandma's Ethic, I think, if I remember correctly. So well done. Handmade clearly has, the talent of guessing what Yogi is trying to do. And guess what I'm going to be doing today? Am I going to sob at the end of the session? Make your predictions. And Sarah has come forward with a beautiful quote. Yes, indeed, Sarah. Today's cupcake themed quote. Sarah says, I've never met a problem a proper cupcake couldn't fix. Amazing. Yes, the power of little cupcakes. What about the ceiling of little cupcake shops? Do they have superpower as well? And thank you so much for Sarah. Yes, sometimes little things can bring us so much comfort and joy and happiness. And I would say stitching is one of these things. So simple and hopefully not too costly. Okay, the last session we talked about some stitching kits can cost a little bit, but hopefully it's affordable and it's joyous to stitch. And Travis is here as well. Great to see you, Travis. And Samantha is here as well. Welcome back. And Daria says, good morning, Yogi and Stitchy friends. We'll be working on Library of Dogs. Yes, Daria is one of those few stitchers. I haven't seen that many stitchers in the chat working on this piece. We'll love to see your progress. And Turtle Stitcher Heather is here. Hello. And Maddie's back with us. And also Suzanne as well. Suzanne hasn't fallen asleep. Suzanne was very sleepy on her last stream. And so well done. Maybe took a little bit of power nap, right? And Mandy, hello. And Kathy is here as well. Kathy Ryan and Crafty Tabby Cats, as crafty as ever. Hello. And Landria is also here. And our lovely Susan is here. Susan, I hope you're as good as new, okay? It's all, it's all good now. And great to see you. And we also have Janine as well. Hello, welcome back. And Sonia says, hi everyone. And let's have a look. Oh, Chris is here. Everybody's favorite here. Oh, everybody go, oh, yes. Chris, hello. And Chris, cross stitch medal. Okay. And if you don't know who he is, you will soon. Dun. And here we go. And you have to keep up with the program. We talk about new things every day. And yes, Chris is our new friend. And Kelly Quotes Plus is here as well. Hello. Good to see you. And we also have, oh yes, a warning here. Let's have a look. I will come back and say hello to all of you. Okay, bear with me. Gayla, I can see Gayla is here, and Clara as well. And I will come back to greet you all. But I want to get to the business. Okay, let's have a look. What's going on here? So yes, as I said, this nice crater has been there for a little while, and today it's the right time. It's about time that I address the issue. So of course you can see this is part of the ceiling, a little bit of the skirting board on the wall as well. And I want to say, because normally with ceiling and backgrounds, my issue would be either it's air stitching or block stitching. Air stitching, obviously, it's quite labor intensive, but block stitching, flat colors, it's very boring. So sometimes I dip in and out. But with this ceiling and the wall for this project is actually not either. It's got healthy amount of color changes, but it's a blending of some air stitching there. Not too bad. We're not talking about white or pale cream or anything like that. But it's just a lot. It's a lot. And if you count the stitches here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 by 5. Even if I complete the whole area, essentially it's just a small area of the ceiling. Okay, so it takes a little bit of determination and willpower to do. But today I'm in that kind of the mood. Sometimes you have to do the groundwork. And so I'm going to do a little bit of groundwork. And if I'm suffering, you are suffering with me. So I'm good. Okay. I've got company here. And if you're doing a little bit of a air stitching as well, you have me as company. Let's suffer together. I'm kidding. It's very nice. I'm sure it's very fun to stitch. But you can see there's quite a lot of color transition as well. Not as bad as some area. Remember when I stitched this little decoration on the wall, ornament on the wall. Oh my God, it was brutal. It was brutal. But it's worth it because the outcome is beautiful. So let's have a go here. So this pattern, I'm stitching on 25 counts, 1/1 DMC, all right? The classic combo here. And let's have a look. So my plan today is not to get too ambitious. I'm going to just do mini cross country from top to bottom, maybe diagonally or not, I don't know. But I'm going to just gradually move down. You know, you can tell that I have done a little bit of gridding to help me there, but it's unlikely I'll get to the bottom, okay, let's face it. But I'm going to start from here, and because there's some really light colors here, so I'll probably mix with a little bit more sort of deeper colors so I don't go blind. And this is my plan, just you know, nice, and get my head down and do the groundwork. Maybe, you know, when I finish this piece, I'll be able to move on to my cakes happily and do not, you know, feel like I have a terrible secret to hide from you. So let's go. I'm gonna just start picking the colors here. And guys, let me know what you're working on today. And it's Aimee Stewart SAL, of course. But of course, you know, if you are not stitching Aimee Stewart or not even HAED projects, well, I don't know what to say to you, but we do have side door and back door. And we also have a cat flap as well. You're free to use that, okay? No judgment from me. Maybe a little bit of judgment from the chat, but I have no control over that. But come join us and let me know what you're working on. And let's go, okay? In a strange, morbid kind of way. I'm kind of looking forward to it. So the first color I'm going to be stitching is 502. 502. And 502, I've got it threaded already. So I've got my needle ball here as well. So hopefully it's going to help me a little bit. Because the last time when I completed the area above this area, I was experimenting with minimum to max. I was quite new to Saga at that time, and so I was doing that. But today, a good old short distance cross country, nothing too ambitious. Hi, Brittany. Brittany's here. Let me just scroll back a little bit and say hello to all of you. Heather House is here. And Grace as well. Grace, yes, dreaded ceiling indeed. Well, dreaded, well, I say challenging rather than dreaded, because I'm sure as I'm stitching this area, I'll find enjoyment as well, because ultimately it's one stitch at a time. One stitch at a time. And this area, it's got enough color changes, but not super confetti. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. So it has to be done at some point. And Kelly says the area of the ceiling does not look that bad. Should be easy to stitch and fill in. Yes, these are not flat colors, but it's not nearly as bad as some areas. But some areas of this pattern is absolutely brutal and relentless. We're talking about ninja stitches everywhere, everywhere. But it's absolutely beautiful though. I fell in love with this pattern the moment I saw it. So my first attempt of this pattern is actually quick stitch. It's got a quick stitch regular size version.
And I think it was it max color? I don't think it was max color. Maybe it was. Cannot remember. I still have the pattern. And within days of me stitching the quick stitch, I just go, no, I need a full size for this one. And so I decided to park the quick stitch version and got this pattern. And I didn't go for regular. I went for max color. Why not? Why not? And Floss is here as well. Floss Heaven. And Busy Mom as well. Hello, hello. It's Saturday, so hopefully Busy Mom is not too busy today. Heather says, oh, right, let's respond to Kelly. I won't get involved. And Jackie Turner says, hi, everyone. I'm joining for a bit today. Been missing watching Yogi. Jackie, come join Yogi, okay? You need a bit of Yogi time. Everybody needs a little bit of Yogi time. Yogi time is also me time. Not me, but you. You need to give yourself some time to just hang out, you know? Just do things you love. Ellen, hello. Ellen says, hi, everyone. I transformed my chart. So I only have 8 blocks with ceilings in each row instead of 6,000 ceilings. Ellen, did you crop it? You promised not to crop it. What do you mean it transformed? Listen to this, guys. You know, the play with words. Ellen, I can see through you. You know, we can. The chat can see you. Ellen says, hey, everyone, I transform my chart. So I only have 8 blocks with ceiling instead of 6,000. What kind of comment is this, guys? Guys, do you remember? We voted. The chat voted for Ellen to keep the ceiling. And see what happened there. And later on, Ellen kind of announced to the world saying, I'm keeping the ceiling. You know, it's all good. I'm doing it properly. And see what happens there. That is so sneaky, Ellen. Guys, what say you? I do not approve. You know, if I'm suffering, Ellen, you're suffering with me. Oh, seriously. And Scantis, hello, great to see you. And dear, and Lefty is here as well. Hello, great to see you. And Betty Hankins is joining us as well. And Lynn is also in the chat. Say hello, Yogi, I'm back. Welcome back. And hello to Cynthia, of course. Where is Cynthia? Come back, Cynthia. I hope you're well and getting better every day. And Suzanne says, has some coffee, and Alex is chatting away at me, so no way I sleep with him talking. Alex, give mom a break, okay? I know you're 18 now. You know, Alex's birthday today. And so Mary Henry, hello, great to see you. Oh, seriously, Evan. Amanda says there was a preschool TV show in the USA called Romper Room, where the teacher looks through the mirror and say hello to children at home. Audience, sometimes about where you greet us, always. Oh, really? Like that? Does it remind you of the creepy teacher? Oh, I hope not. Let's have a look. Where am I? I think there are a couple of stitches not marked on my chart. Let me have a careful look. 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. This one is pretty short, so I'm going to end it very soon. I mean, the ceiling's beautiful, though. If you look at the color transition, we're not talking about plain ceiling here. We're not talking about just boring old, you know, ceiling, but still, it's ceiling. Yes, Amanda. You know, with most of my my classes, I do have to take register, so I do call out, Amanda, yes, Mary, are you here? And Chris, you know, like that. So I'm quite used to it. And people have to go, yes, I'm here, and I take their names. Brittany, hello. Hello, says everyone, sneaking in the back door with Spooky Boo today. Is that the new chart from Heaven and Earth? Is that one with Pumpkin, with Frankenstein, or whatever it is? That's a new one. I'm going to end my thread here. Hello, Catherine. Catherine's working on Chris's Enchanted Woodland. Oh, I need to remember those titles because it's been the titles have been referred to. But I'm one of those people. I just look at pictures. I don't care about names, so I can't remember which is which. But I can probably guess. And let's have a look. This one. The next one is 3816. 3816. 3816. Have the house say, oh, hello. I keep interfering people's conversations. Seriously. Stop it, Yogi. Suzanne says, looks like I'll be working on mini love letters, letter chocolates for the next 2.6 years. But even for mini, considering, because on the last session, Suzanne was saying that she did a calculation on the mini piece of love letters. If she were to work on the project once a day, every Saturday, how long would it be completed? And it came out as 2.6 years, which is not too bad, is it? I mean, even for a mini version, considering you only do work on it one day a week, I think it's 600 stitches or 500 stitches. That's quite a lot, but still, only one day a week. 2.6 years is not that bad. And I'm sure there'll be some weeks you work more than once, right? And then so maybe you do more. And Floss is doing the Tiny Modernist Garden SAL. Travis says, funny story about cat flap. Oh, better be funny. You know, Travis, when you start a story says, funny story, people have expectations. Let's have a look. Travis says, funny story about cat flap. Tia has had to crawl through the doggy door at her dad's place when she forgot her house key. She wishes got it on camera. Yes, yes, doggy doors can be quite big, depending on how big your dog is. Cat flap, well, I don't think even Tia, you know, can crawl through. Oh dear. But that's a nice option. But think about it. If Tia can crawl through, maybe the burglars can as well. Dun, dun, dun. We talked about burglaries the other day. If Tia can crawl through, you could have a tiny, tiny burglar crawling through as well, so be careful. Hey, Dolly. Dolly is just like looking really suspicious. Do not tell me it's a full-time as well. Everybody comes to me. for food when I'm streaming. Dolly. Miaolin, hello, great to see you. Miaolin says, hi Yogi, working on the childhood dream charted by Stitches, so beautiful. Trying out 25 count for the first time. Whoa, congratulations. Yes, I hope you enjoy it. And be patient. I think in the beginning it might feel weird, but it will happen. It will happen. Just give it, some time. Let me see. It's not too bad so far. It's not too confetti. Susan says new May start. Oh, it's a one new start a month for Susan so far. So May start is best friends. Definitely in by the cat flap. Yes, not the doggy door, doggy flap. It's really small piece, 80 by 80. Oh, that sounds lovely. Yes. Are you aiming to finish it by the end of the month and then start a new one? Bree, hello. It's been a little while. Bree and Creativity says working on a stamp kit from Tapestry Market. I purchased my very first HAED pattern the other day. Which one did you go for? The first one is most it's interesting, isn't it? We should start a post on Facebook and ask everybody's first HAED project is. It'd be so interesting because that would be the kind of a catalyst for someone to go, yeah, I'm going HAED, because it might look a little bit daunting if you've never done it before. I'd love to know. Cross says, I made only 50 stitches today morning on my Sweet Dreams. It's a Sweet Dream, the one with a black and white kitty. Is that the one you're stitching? And Chris says, I've been editing watercolor tutorials, so I have to have a break for stitching. Oh, Chris, editing is one of my least favorite things to do. It is time consuming, isn't it, Chris? That's why your videos come out so good because you're spending a lot of time doing it. For me, it's a killer because that's why I'm a streamer. Because if I have to edit one video a day, I probably wouldn't be here at all. I'll be in therapy. 1, 2, 3, 4. But take it easy. Editing is time consuming and laborious. Alison, welcome back. Alison says trying out a new stitching setup area. So still trying to figure it out, working on Atrium by Ciro Marchetti. Yes, freshen up your setup. It's always nice, isn't it? Oh, wait. Ellen says, I didn't crop it. I rotated it. Oh, right. So you're doing it sideways. I do remember that. I do remember that. So I take back my my judgment on Ellen for now. Let's find out what happens. So you rotate it, and so you're keeping all the ceiling, right? But it's on the side, so you don't have to deal with it horizontally in one go. Ah, okay then, guys. Okay, I take it back. I take it back. And Ellen is keeping the ceiling, but she's stitching like an alien. Okay, she's turning it sideways, probably clockwise, 45 degree, right? So the piece is it's longer rather than Some people do that. I've seen people doing that. I don't understand it, but because my brain will be constantly thinking, well, it's sideways. Let me just draw a couple of lines here. I need help with the border. It's getting very blurry here. There you go. So the first stitch for me is the row with gray stitches, with gray colors. One, two, three, four. Busy Mom says I'm stitching for a minute. Might be going to sewing room soon. Busy Mom has a lovely craft room. Laura, hello. Fell asleep for a bit. Laura, that's just as Yogi prescribed. A little bit of power snack, a little bit of a power nap, and then come back. Well done, Laura. Just make sure you're snacking as well. Maddie says 3,800 on Fierce Beautiful Mini. Wow. Well done, Maggie. Suzanne says creepy romper room. It does sound slightly creepy, isn't it? Is it just a TV program? Is it for children? I find kids program really creepy. I just find grown-ups talking to kids a certain way really creepy. And children's programs are like that most of the time, just grown-ups and just overly upbeat. No one is no one's that happy. What's wrong with them? And they're always really happy and upbeat, and they talk to kids in a way that's just, I don't know. I can't watch children's TV. I didn't watch it as a kid because I was just terrified. I don't mind cartoon, but children's program, I just found them so dumb and so creepy. Amanda says the teacher was lovely, not creepy. Well, I'll be the judge of that. I've never seen the program. Miaolin says, I actually purchased this pattern because I saw your post on this Facebook group. Oh, so the first one is this one, is it? And did you get the regular color or max color? Well done. One, two, three, four. I think you've done these ones. One, two, three. It's not bad so far. I'm enjoying it. It's not too confetti, so I'm happy. So Brittany is stitching that on that new one with Frankie. Oh, it's a Frankie, is it? Amanda says, I started Chris's Sweet Dream this morning and will keep working on it now. And what fabric count are you stitching that piece on? I'm trying to think about what fabric count I will be stitching when we do the metal saw. Cassie says, hi all, I was lurking at work club for the first session. Now I'm home ready to stitch. Oh, how wonderful. And I was hoping this was the Aimee Stewart. This is the Aimee Stewart, Cassie. We do it every Saturday. You know it by now. Janine says, new start for me too so far. 7 shades of blue. A new start. Is it a stamp kit? Because if it's stamp kit, it doesn't count. They're phantom whips. Hey, Cedric says, good evening, Yogi and fellow viewers. Backdoor entry, knitting on a sweater. Oh, wonderful. Sweater is tricky, isn't it? Because anything that you wear on the body other than the scarf, they have to fit. Like gloves, socks, jumpers, sweaters. They have to fit, and it's tricky. I have done jumpers actually, but the sleeves, the length of the sleeves, they are very uneven. Sometimes the front piece and the back piece, they're supposed to be identical, and I always measure at the end, they're all different. I think it's the tension as you knit. The next color of my choice is 503. Spooky bingo, anyone? 503. Well, these colors are quite subtle, so the chances of spooky bingo is probably not as great. But I'm hoping for the best. I like a bit of a spooky bingo. Busy Mom says, my first HAED was Majestic Cow that I'm not stitching on because I hate the fabric. Wow. So the first pattern basically turned into UFO piece. I mean, technically, I really trying to remember. It's all a blur there because I just fell into this rabbit hole and I was just looking, doing everything, trying to try everything at the same time. And when I discover Heaven and Earth, I think this may be, I think in the very beginning, I bought this one in Quick Stitch and also maybe 3 other mini. Because at that time I thought, well, I'm not stupid. I'm not doing the giant, full-size chart. That's going to take forever to finish. And so I buy mini ones. But as soon as I started this one in Quick Stitch format, I realized I really wanted the full piece. And the rest is history. You know, I bought mini ones. I thought I was being sensible. And look at me now. A super size. Anyone? These colors are, to be honest, quite pretty though. Catherine says mine was Sunflower Cottage Mini. Oh, the first HAED? It's interesting because to choose that first one, it's got to be something that triggers and go, well, I really, really want it. So there's something special about that chart for you to want to do it. Chris says, yes, that's the one I'm working on. I think that's the black and white kitty one, isn't it? And editing takes a lot of time. It's not my favorite part. I would say 10% of the time is painting, 90 is editing. But I have to prepare videos properly. I totally get it. So Chris has got a watercolor online school as well. And so I think it's an online course that you learn how to watercolor. I haven't done that much watercolor. I have used watercolor as a medium, but I never use paint in a conventional way. So for instance, well, with oil, I had to paint with a brush, okay? But brushes are not my favorite. I actually love oil painting, but I couldn't stand the smell, the chemicals, the smell of the paint. And so I couldn't do it. And so I picked another medium that's very close to oil in terms of the way it works. So my favorite medium, other than charcoal and pen, you know, just pens in general, is pastel. You know, like chalk pieces that you can just kind of blend colors very easily. And a little bit like oil painting, you can create very oil painting-like effects without using oil painting. It's not as substantial and sustainable as, you know, in terms of the result, but I enjoy it. And I normally paint with fingers. I will hold a small piece of pastel and I would paint and then smudge. So I mainly paint with my fingers. So naked painting, that's me, using my hands. And watercolor is just too proper for me. You have to do it properly to get the result you want. So I don't do too much watercolor. Travis says, I'm currently working on a very pretty Pokemon called Lapras. It looks like a Loch Ness creature. I think I know that one. For some reason, the name rings a bell. I don't know why. Is it light blue? Yes, pretty blue. That's the one. I think I know which one you mean. I did play Pokemon Go for a little while. Grace says my first HAED project was stitching shelf, and prior to that I was stitching small pieces. I discovered full coverage from Artisy. Amazing. Yes, I think if you transition from other full coverage, let's say for whatever reason you discover Stitch is So Beautiful first or Artisy first, you have already experienced full coverage. The transition probably is, you know, probably is not as drastic. But if you go from stitching, I don't know, samplers, and or simpler projects like I did, you know, HAED, etc., and transition into, you know, this type of stitching is very, very different. I'm trying to figure out where I am. See, that this is the problem. Here, this is block 1, block 2. This is it. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. For some reason, oh, I see. I know what's going on now. For some reason, I marked a whole bunch of stitches. That doesn't make sense. What is going on here? 1, 2. Okay. 1 stitch. I think I've got a whole bunch of stitches missing. It's quite hard to sort of read the pattern of the stitches because they're all very similar in colors. So it's much harder to kind of tell them apart, to use them as references. So those ones I've done, haven't I? 1, 2, 3, 3 rows. Oh, I see. These 2 stitches are in the wrong place. That's why it's all messed up. I'm gonna fudge, okay? Guys, let me fudge so I can fix it. I know what's going on now. That's why I couldn't read it. Fudge time. Laura says, my first hay was cooking by candlelight. Definitely not prepared for big peas. I have to restart one day. Oh, so you have not continued. Interesting. Susan, yes, Susan's first. Susan's first traveling library happening, you know, with us. I mean, during our streams, the first HAED experience. The duvet stitching, okay, Susan, is also known as. Oh, so it's Mr. Rogers, is it? That sounds very dodgy. Sounds very suspicious, Mr. Rogers. We're talking about the children's TV show in America. Is it called Romper Room? And Suzanne says it was like magic when a Romper Room presenter said your name when you were very little. So why would he say your name? He cannot see you, can he? So is it just random people's name that he reads, that you just call out? That's even creepier. One, two, three, 4. Sarah says, my first HAED was called Letting Go. That sounds a little bit sad already. And Sarah says, I was at 35% when I lost everything in the flood. Let it go. It's all letting go, Sarah. You let it go with the water. Oh dear. 35%. Wow. It was let go by itself. And would you ever want to restart again? Did you love it that much? Suzanne says my first hay was Yumko, but I'm going to restart it. Is that heaven and earth? Amanda says I'm stitching Sweet Dreams on 32 count even weave, 1/1 full cross. Wow. And how are you getting on with 32 1/1? I'd love to know. Janine saying my first hay was Randall Spangler's chocolate, which I recently threw in a bin. No, Janine, in a fire pit. Alison says, did you look up Almost Midnight? Oh, yes, Alison, I did. So the last stream with members, we were talking about heaven and earth patterns, and there was this one called Almost Midnight. It was mentioned, and everybody seemed to love it. So I had a look. I had a little look. And also had a look at the cheese and the grilled cheese and the heart balloon patterns as well. And yes, I had a look at the Almost Midnight. It's sweet. It's got a whole bunch of kitties, and kind of they all look like, you know, personalities. But Alison, I think my issue with that piece would be the air stitching. There's a little bit of air stitching going on there. Would you not agree? The color scheme is quite light in areas. On top of that, 25 count is, I think, 140 pounds. Do I love it so that much? No. Do I love the price? No. But it's quite charming. It's quite fetching. If you don't mind a little bit of air stitching, you might like that piece. And also 150 pounds to spare. Janine says new start is Cosmo Cat by Peggy Collins. Oh, that's cat themed. Sidri says regarding her sweater is top down raglan sweater knitted in a round, so I can try it from time to time. Oh, that's very clever. That's very clever. Because normally when you measure the sizes, there's some conversion charts, you know, if your chest is this, where's your waist, shoulders, whatever. But the problem is you can follow the stitches, number of stitches. For someone like me whose knitting tension is all over the places, and they just come out differently. Normally they come out bigger. So maybe the trick for me is to reduce the number of stitches. Just make it smaller. So when I stitch it, it won't fit. But it's quite clever that you get to try it, so you can make adjustments. Yes, I think if you stitch front and back pieces, you won't be able to do that. But if you do it in a round shape, Catherine says, I got first HAED as part of a SAL, so didn't pick at all. Right, so the first thing you did was to join a year-long SAL, Heaven and Earth SAL. That's really hardcore. That's very hardcore. I wouldn't have the courage to do it, even now. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Travis says, after watching Big Bang Theory, when I heard naked painting, oh. And I also draw a lot of, well, I prefer sketching a lot more than proper painting, actually. We did have a lot of live drawings, which I love. So the great thing about art school is that they will get models, real life models. They come in and they would pose for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think oh, this one is totally wrong. I don't know how I marked these ones. Shame on me. The 5x5 grid is totally incorrect. That's why it looks wrong. Yeah, so they have live models. They just come in and they would pose naked, basically. So you draw human figure. And that's one of my one of my favorite things to do. Because, even when people pose in stillness, they still move a little bit. So you have to kind of learn to capture information as you not as you stitch, as you paint, as you draw. So it's almost like a dance, You have to capture something in your head, pull it down, look up, and capture another piece of information. So I found that quite thrilling. And it's really good training as well, because if you walk around the street, for instance, which I did a lot, on the London Tube, on the streets, I would just sketch people, and people are moving. There's a lot of movement. So you kind of learn how to capture images in your head and then be able to draw it. Chris is asking, Yogi, did you attend an art school? Yes, I did. I went to art school. I did illustrations and fine art. So in one of the London art schools. And I bet Chris as well. But the thing is, Chris is teaching watercolor, right? I wouldn't be able to teach anybody how to paint for the life of me, because art school, they don't teach you techniques. That's up to you. It's your exploration, and you don't have to paint in a sort of conventional style. You can do anything. You can use the paint, the mediums, however you want. That's not what they're after. They're not training painters, or in that sense. They just want you to do art, however you do it. One more here. And Chris says, my educational background is totally different. Really? So how did you learn how to paint? Heather House says, my first HAED was Stitcher's Retreat. Oh, it's the name of the pattern. Lovely. And Heather says, I cropped a bit, but it was over 400,000 stitches first, finished. Took 4 years. What do you mean you cropped a bit, Heather? Would you like to share a bit more information? How much did you actually crop? Did you crop out the ceiling and an ocean in the background? Yes, it's called cropping or cheating, okay? No, I'm kidding. If there's certain part of the pattern you just don't like, fair enough. Whoops. Yes, Susan, comparing to yours, mine is like a tablecloth, and whereas Susan's version is like a duvet. Like a duvet that's enough for, you know, Las Vegas king size bed. Joyce, hello. What are you stitching tonight? Are you stitching? Grace says, with the name Grace, my name was never called. Oh, by the TV presenter. Why is that? So the teacher, the creepy teacher, basically just call out random names, like most common names, and hopefully someone's gonna go, oh, that was for me. All right, next one. Oh, it's a little bit darker. It's about time. 931. 931. It is 931. It's more blue. So it's transition from sort of green teal and then bluish, greenish blue. I can see a lot of yellow in this one, this blue. Amanda says, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was a different show. That's a what? So there's a different like a spin-off programs called Rogers Neighborhood. That sounds weirder and weirder. And it was a different show. I'm Romper Room. You could mail your name in and the teacher would say it in the show. What? So people just say, hey, my name is, Jonathan, or my name's Amanda. And Mr. Roger eventually just get to your name, is it? But what if there are people whose name already been called like 20 times, like really common names, and people just keep writing in and go, hey, say my name is John. And Mr. Roger is like, but John, we've called out John for about at least 5 times a month. Or maybe you have really weird names like Apple, Lily, whatever, Cotton Bot. I don't know. A really long name. You know, some countries have really, really, really long name. Mr. Roger, my name is blah, 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 for like, a paragraph. But you have to say it properly. No cutting corners. Amanda says, 32, 1/1 working just fine. Do you have a bright, I do have bright color, a bright light on because it's dark and rainy today. Well, I try 32, 1/1 for my Christmas project. It's not so much the stitch size. The stitch size seemed to be okay for me. It was more of the fullness of the stitches. 1/1, I just found it really hard to stitch. I actually did it live. So I started the project live here. for the Christmas season last year, and the project was 32 counts, and I did some test stitching for 1/1, and it was fine, but I did it with plain colors, you know, just like one single color, so it really wasn't representative of the actual pattern. So I thought it was going to be okay, and lo and behold, as soon as I started to mix colors in, and the trouble started. I just found it really difficult to stitch. So I had to switch to 1/110, and that's where I am right now with that piece. Travis says, question for Yogi and everyone, is it normal for thread to go fuzzy after a while in a completed stitches area? Oh, do you mean like completion area? Does it go fuzzy? It's not too bad for my pieces, but it really depends on how well it's protected. I think a lot of stitchers, I mean, chat, you can chime in, but a lot of stitchers, they kind of try to roll, try to, you know, either use a grime guard or something, or, you know, put a rest in a bag if it's really big to try to protect it. But it shouldn't go fuzzy if it's, you know, properly protected. Chris says, I was a bizarre child. Well, this sounds like a confession. Okay, guys. The beginning of a confession. Chris says, I was a bizarre child. When others were playing football, I was painting and playing the piano. I'm a self-taught, but just books. Later, internet. Absolutely. I think, you know, a lot of artists, quite a lot of, you know, artists, like the best artists, they're not from orthodox background. They didn't necessarily go to art school. And also art schools do not teach you how to become an artist. It does not teach you how to be talented. The talent comes from you, Chris, and you have it. So you don't need an art education to teach you how to do it. The benefit of art school, I would say, it's kind of a playground for you, as you know, if you have some ability to do art. It gives you kind of toolboxes. They do not teach you how to be an artist. That's not what an art school is for. It just gives you the opportunity and maybe some organizational methods. You know, they give you some ideas how to organize your sketchbooks, etc. But the goal of art school is not to teach you how to do art. They just give you that playground, that sandbox for you to experiment. So I'm not surprised at all that Chris didn't go to art school, because you don't need to be an artist. Mandy says, my first cross stitch ever was SAL 2024, so not that long ago. Not that long ago. Yes. I think I discovered HAED probably was a little bit before, maybe the end of 2022, because I remember my shopping spree with the pattern was very concentrated around the beginning of 2023 and just a little bit before that. So that was when I went crazy. Catherine says, I cannot imagine Gecko Rouge thinks everyone used 2 threads on 28 counts. I don't even on 25 counts. I think, Gecko Rouge, are you referring to the spec in terms of the material they give you? I think what they do is, I think majority of people probably do single strand for 25 counts upwards, but they give you enough material to do double strand. I think that's the idea. So if anything, if you need any spare, you know, let's say if you have a false start and you want to restart, like my case, I'm not really worried about my supply. I think I've got more than enough to do the second start. Joy says, I went to art school for a year, Academy of Fine Art in Belgium. We had a fire alarm once, and to my surprise, my uncle came out of the bath. That's a strange twist of the story. From Joyce goes to art school in Belgium to her uncle run out of the house in a bathrobe. Where does this story go? I have no idea. Okay, so there was a fire, fair enough. So he ran out in the bathrobe, okay? And he had been posing naked in another class. Oh, so he was a live model, was he? Oh, that's so nice. Yes, I'm so grateful for those live models. And they come in all shapes and sizes. You know, not everybody is comfortable posing for the entire room of teenagers or young kids naked, but some are young girls, ladies, and some older gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, and because we want to study different body shapes and different expression of the body. Yes, so now it makes sense, Joyce. I was thinking that was a little bit random. Amanda says, I chose 32 mostly because I already had it. Right. I think if you're comfortable stitching 1/1 full cross, 32 counts, that's great. I couldn't make it work. Joy says they even come in uncle size. I have no idea what you're referring to. This chat is going in a very strange direction. Laura says, I did a lot of stamp kits in hand. It does get a bit fuzzy after a lot of handling. Possibly, yes. I think if you stitch by hand, I can totally see that. I can totally see that. You know, a lot of handling. And I think in Travis' case, because it's a stamp kit and also it's really large, so quite a lot of handling going on there. You know, rolling up areas, unrolling, folding, unfolding. So maybe in the process, the stitches can go a little bit fuzzy. I still have the images of Joyce's uncle running out of the room screaming in the bathrobe. Well, at least it's not a tiny, bath towel. That, that's a little bit more precarious. Heather says the top 3 inches of the stitcher's retreat was all dark because, dark background. So you just trim off some of the background. That's fair. If you feel like, because a single image, there's kind of a composition because even plain background is there for a reason. But if you don't think that is doing anything, then I guess that's fair. The artist is probably crying, but it's okay. He kept checking his robe. He would, wouldn't he? It's better than a towel, though. A towel is a little bit dangerous, particularly when you're panicking. That's a great story, yes. Hi, Jackie. And it's actually not easy being a poser because you have to, well, I suppose you probably get to move a little bit, but you know, you have to stay still for a little bit. And it's not easy. And also you get requests from the students and go, can you know, pose like this or that? It's not easy, particularly when you're butt naked, you know. So it requires very special kind of people to be able to do it. Let me double check my stitches here. 1, 2. Oh dear, what is happening? Oh, Jackie's having dinner. Enjoy your dinner. Joy says, even though I had scary dreams after after that about my uncle modeling. Oh, that's right. Hang on. I totally miss the most important aspect of this story because this happened in the art school Joyce went to. But Joyce, you're from Netherlands, so you went to Belgium for to study art, and your uncle, who was also there and just so happened modeling as a live model in the school that you're studying. So were you in the room sketching him? That's my question. And that's a totally different dimension of the story. Yes, I do not want my uncle to pose for me. Okay, thank you very much. It must be traumatic. And particularly when you have to grab the bathrobe and just run out of the room panicking and checking at the same time all the while. Can be quite traumatic for you. What a strange story. I had a really, really weird dream a long time ago, but I still remember vividly. I remember I was marrying one of my uncles. It was so disturbing. And I woke up and I was in the wedding. You know, I was going to the wedding, my own wedding, with my uncle. And I was thinking, why am I marrying my uncle? And there was no explanation. I think uncles generally just troublemakers in dreams. It was so weird. And so when I woke up, I was so relieved. That was just a bizarre dream. And Joy says it's not a reason I went only for 1 year. Can you imagine? Afterwards, Joy's just required therapy for the next 6 months. Where am I? Here. 1 stitch, 1 stitch. Grace says he didn't run out because of the fire. He ran out because he saw his niece in the class. Was he in the room with you? How awkward is that? I don't know. Can't imagine. I think this is going well. Not too confetti so far. Fingers crossed. From here. Oh, I'm going to do these ones first. There are a few stitches here. Here we go. 503. 503. No spooky bingo so far. Joy says, I live close to the Belgian border with a bit of back when I could be spitting over the border. That's very visual. I like that. Do you mean it's really close? Is that what you're saying? Right. Yes. It's a concept I have to grasp because, you know, in European continent, everybody's everybody's neighbor. And the thing is, on Instagram, I actually follow a couple of accounts. They are stitching this piece actually. One of them was, I think both of them maybe Japanese ladies, I'm not sure. One of them finished the mini version. And I have to say, you know, it was still really pretty, but it was a little bit blurry. So that was when I thought, you know, I kind of made the right choice to pick the full size. And then another one, there's another account that's stitching this piece as well. And this lady is also stitching like Ellen. Like she's turning it sideways and she's parking as well. So she's parking, it looks like, because in the very beginning I thought she just took the photos and doesn't know how to orient the photos because everything is sideways. And I realized she actually stitched like that deliberately. And she's actually parking. She's stitching. I don't know why she does that, because she's not turning it sideways so she can still stitch from top down. She's literally stitching from the right to left. I have to show you that account at some point, but she's stitching from right to left and parking to the left. Can you see that? Normally, if you stitch top down or diagonal, the thread flows toward the other direction. This lady is stitching from the right side to the left, and she's parking to the left. It's very unusual. That's why I follow her, because I want to figure out what she's doing. But the thing is, she doesn't have a floss strip channel, so I couldn't actually watch her stitching properly. But it's very, very unusual. I'm still trying to figure out what's happening. And if you look at her account, it looks like this may be the only project she's got, because I haven't seen anything else she's stitching, and she's done a lot with this piece. 503. Joy says no, he was modeling in another class and didn't know I was a student there. What a shocker for him. And I didn't know he was a model. What? So he didn't know that you were there, studying there, and you didn't know he was a model. And we went to the parking lot because of the fire alarm. What a strange reunion. Well, let's say we weren't very close, were we? So first of all, he didn't know that you were studying there, and he never told you he does light modeling. I think, I don't know, would you share it if you're doing light modeling? It's not like there's anything to hide, but maybe some people probably worry for other people making judgment. I don't know. Why wouldn't he share that? You know, I suppose if you have a family member that's a life model, you wouldn't know about it. What a strange reunion in a car park. So the uncle was in bathrobe, and Joyce was probably covered head to toe in paint, and they reunited in Belgium art school car park. What a story. 3816. I wonder what a conversation is like. 3816. You know, Joyce probably looked at him and go, hey, nice bathrobe. I should get one of those. Suzanne says I had to get some chocolate for chocolate time. Oh, definitely. It's chocolate time soon. Absolutely. Suzanne is coming prepared. Three 3816. Suzanne says, I really need water. I noticed the dirty dishes, so loaded with dishwasher, then treating myself to chocolate. Why not? Yes, loading dishes to a dishwasher is no joke. You have to bend over backwards a few times. Yes, definitely reward yourself with some chocolate. Very good. But I do that a lot, though. I will go and do one thing, and I just end up doing 3 other things. And then forget why I was there in the first place. Chris says, I'm dying. I ate a whole bar of chocolate today, but I still have room for more. Well, 1 bar is nothing. How big is the bar? It's the size of a baseball bat. Why would you be dying eating a bar of chocolate, Chris? We need to talk. And yes, you always have time for more, space for more. You know, chocolate goes into a separate dimension in the tummy. Joy says, referring to her uncle, she says, I think he would not have been embarrassed over life modeling, but he was a bit shy about admitting he needed the extra income. Why? So he wasn't embarrassed about being naked, but embarrassed about needing money. Why? I wonder how much they get paid. I always wonder. I hope they get proper money, because it's not easy. Chris, you probably know by now, we have chocolate time, okay? And it's mandatory. You know, snacking is mandatory. Joyce is in top form today. Joyce says, guys, if it resonates with you, raise your hands, okay? Joyce says, right, chocolate goes straight to the hips dimension. Da da da. Oh, so that's the dimension it goes. I always wonder, it just goes somewhere. I don't know where. Now I know. Thanks, Joyce. But it's strange, isn't it? It's like sweet things. They just don't count as food. You always have that extra dimension around the hips for them to go. Citri raise hands. Yes. And me. I don't know about Chris. I think, Chris eats chocolate probably goes to his brain, for his enormous brain and his editing powers. Oh, dear. It's just so unfair. Here we have a look, 2, 1, 2, 3. And my goal for, I don't want to say the rest of the year, it's too ambitious, but for the next, I don't know, just going forward in general, I want to be a little bit more relaxed about the bags, you know, because I'll give myself a little bit more leeway to take my thread over to stitches a little bit further. And I'll see if it actually improve. Not so much the speed, but just, you know, a little bit less effort. Let's see how long I last. Chocolate time. Is it now? Oh, hang on. Yes, right on the dot. 10:30 right now. Thank you, Susan. Janine says, I never care about my bags. Well, that's a different kind of exercise. Well, I do get, I'm not planning to go crazy, like, you know, having the cross country. Some people literally have floating thread cross like half of their piece. That's not going to happen. It's unlikely. I probably have, you know, have some sort of panic attack before that. But I would like to be a little bit more relaxed, because sometimes I feel a little bit silly just, you know, ending the thread on one spot and then just move about 5 stitches or 4 stitches to another location and restart. I like to be a little bit more relaxed going forward. But it's not going to be like 10 stitches or anything crazy like Janine. Siri says, oops, let me highlight this. She says, would you consider stitching extreme cross country and for example, stitch all stitches of the max color first? All stitches of the max. Oh, you mean the color that's got most stitches? Wow. Will I consider it? I would consider it and then say no. How's that? Is that okay? Well, I like the idea. I like the idea. I'm just trying to think. I would consider it. I mean, all jokes aside, I would, because I'm really I would like to try something at least once. And if I like it, I do it 3 times. But I'm just trying to run it through my head to see if it's gonna sort of give me problems, you know, panic attacks or stuff like that. But are you referring to the entire piece, like full size, heaven and earth, and just pick one color and just keep going? I think my fear would be, I think the chat knows what my fear is. Oh yes, chocolate time. I know. Let me just do a couple more stitches here. So there's a kind of a point that I can pause. I think my fear would be because we're talking about the most dominant color, right? You're talking about the color that's got most stitches. My fear would be, because it's dominant color, if I count incorrectly at any point, everything's gonna be off. You know, even with my Gecko Rouge, I'm off for one block, 10 stitches wide. It's causing problems. So that's more of my fear. I like the idea. It sounds like fun. But I'm just not sure how well it's going to turn out. And also, if you do a sort of really large area, it's impossible to frog, because how do you even fix it, right? Janine says, I don't go more than 15 or 20 most. Oh, that's a lot though. My breast is getting shorter just reading that. 15 is like a lot. 15 stitches is like a block and a half. 20 is like 2 blocks. Jeannie, I don't know how you do it. I'm thinking like more than 5 stitches, maybe 5 stitches. Because normally beyond 3, sometimes if I push it, I can probably do 4. But yeah, beyond 5, I tend to, end the stitch and then restart. But 15, oh, that's like a lot. I'm thinking 6 or something like that. All right, chocolate time. Oh, I'm ready. Because I had my supper quite early, so I'm ready for a snack. So today, yes, we're back to the Black Forest. Ta-da! So here we go. So I just opened this one yesterday. Oh no, not yesterday, the day before. This stolen chocolate, okay? Do not tell anybody. This one has got Mr. Yogi's name on it. He doesn't know. He stole mine, so it's fair game. Cheers, everyone. Cassie says, I finally figured out who Chris was. Hi, Chris. I watched the start of the video. Yes, Chris is cross-stitch medal. Our new friend here. Exactly, Jeanine. Yogi says, remember Gecko Rouge Extreme Cross Country is not you. But it makes me want to try it. I like the idea, it's fun. And also, if you do that kind of cross country, you literally have to let go of your back, because if you're doing it from the number of stitches, that's most. So you create most coverage for that color. And then you come back. I don't know, would you go down the order for the second most? If you do that, eventually you're going to come across a lot of tiny bits that you have to come back and find and stitch. I'm not sure if I'll enjoy that. I probably wouldn't. So that's something I have to be quite realistic about. Unless there are different ways to get around it. But also, at the end, you probably end up having to carry your threads quite far to get to the next leftover stitches, right? That is going to be very challenging. But I like the idea. Will I do it? Don't know. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe a small piece. Maybe I can experiment on a small piece. But then it's not very extreme, is it? Sidra says, yes, entire project. I have seen YouTube stitchers do this, but can't recall who. And probably Nikki. Probably Nikki. Nikki did that for, was it Sweet Shop? She started with 310, probably the most dominant color. And then did sort of extreme cross country for the entire piece. And I cannot remember whether she did that for Traveling Library as well. But it has been done. And but I have not seen how she finishes the remaining stitches. I think eventually it's going to be quite painful having to come back and fill in tiny little stitches everywhere. Second piece. Yes, Susan, Spooky Bingo Black Forest. Yay. Handshake. Finally, Spooky Bingo of a different kind. see? Can you hear that? Delicious. There you go. And can you see the cherry? Can you see the cherry? That is the air dried cherry, the red bit. Right, Floss Haven says 310 stitcher also does dominant color first on some pieces. But what happens next though? So you have the most dominant color first. Do they follow the order and go decrease through that order? Because eventually I can imagine it would be very, very painful at the end when you get to the final 20 colors. And you have to constantly move your fabric as well. Gray says, Ellen posted a new video showing her new method. Did she invent it? Ellen as in Ellen? Ellen, have you got a new method? I need to know. I love new methods. Catherine says extreme cross country is great if it's a piece with dominant colors like 310. I did that with one because scorching number of black. Imagine if the dominant color is white, white fabric. Good luck. Oh, I see. Floss says, so the person did the dominant color first, but the remaining stitches, they do it with different method. So what does that do then? What would be the purpose of the dominant color first? Is it just to create some sort of reference point? Heather says, where's Nikki? Well, your guess is as good as mine. I have not heard from her. Her channel has not been updated. I hope she's all right. Nikki, if you're in hiding for some reason, come forward. Just say hello. Yes, we'll worry about you. Joy says, didn't Nikki do the 3 or 4 colors with the most amount first? I have seen her doing black and then red. Whether she followed through entirely with red, I did not see the update. But I think her plan wasn't to gradually decrease the number of stitches. I think she established the largest number, and then the rest she made. I think I remember she said she could move forward to the least number of stitches. So I suppose you can switch back and forth. You do the dominant color first, and then you do the ninja stitches with the colors that's got least amount. Take care of that, and then do the rest in whatever order. I don't know, but I think it's probably wise to avoid you end up with tiny little stitches here and they're buried, kind of treasure hunt you have to do that. That doesn't sound like fun. Right, so Floss says that piece has got a lot of 310. Yes, I suppose it pretty varies. It depends on which pattern it is. And it does sound like fun though, because the first color has got to be the most fun, right? You can just fly and go wherever you want and do a whole lot. The problem would be coming back if you have areas kind of miscounted or stuff like that. That could be a problem. And for me, you know me by now, you know, miscounting is my middle name. Oh, suddenly I'm back. Here we go. I might have another piece of chocolate. Cheers. Ruby says, I did extreme cross country on my traveling library. It's a mini version, but I did all of the 310. Right. And then what did you do next then? Did you continue in that order from top to bottom? Or did you change your strategy after that? The traveling library does have a lot of 310. And also the boredom factor, guys. If you have done that kind of stitching, do you get bored? Because you're looking at the same color for eternity. Joy says most first and then minimum, min to max. Oh, I see. That's a little bit more workable in my brain, because my fear would be the final few colors that you have to literally, send out the search parties to find, because they're everywhere and it's going to be quite painful. But if you go, well, I just start off with a bang, doing the most colors, most stitches, and then I switch to minimum, take care of the ninjas, and then do whatever. But that's provided that you have not discounted anything, which is questionable. And you don't know until you know, right? Because if you keep flying through the entire piece and then you think everything's all well, and lo and behold, your dragon has got one missing eye because you miscounted something. One-eye dragon, guys. Yes, miscounting's my fear of cross country. You and me both, Floss. And you should be fearful because it can happen. Look at my gecko rouge, just 10 stitches wide. Potentially, it could mess up the entire thing. Janine says, of course, attempted extreme cross-country, I'll probably never pick up cross-stitching again. And also, sometimes when you have a start of a piece and you don't like it for whatever reason, you want to restart, the fabric still can be repurposed, right? You can use it for other projects. If you stitch that way, cross an entire piece, that happened to Nikki, how do you even frog those? So entire piece of fabric is gone, cannot be used unless you're prepared to frog every single stitch. So there are many sort of hidden risks, or not so hidden risks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Rajal says, Yogi, tomorrow I'll be not in live because I have to pick my, I think there's one word missing, from Dallas Airport. We'll be back on Monday. Yes, Rajal. Did you say my mom or maybe somebody from your family? And yes, we're going to miss you. And but you know, guys, Monday, this coming Monday, we're going to have a stream because it's bank holiday in the UK, and I don't have classes in the evening on Monday. So we are going to have a Monday bank holiday evening stream here. So Raja, I will see you there, and have a great time with the family. Travis says last weekend when I posted about my Pokemon puzzle, I ended up finishing within 18 hours. I saw it. I saw your completed version. Amazing. Well, I wish cross stitching was can be finished in that speed just overnight. That's remarkable. And Travis, so what's going to happen to that piece then? Are you going to take it apart and play again, or are you donating it? I remember you said you're going to donate it to something like a charity or something. Night, Cedric. Sweet dreams. Floss 7 says, I love it when people finish their puzzles. Ouch. And Joyce, are you going to bed as well, or are you saying goodnight to Cedric? Maddie says, down to my last 2 colors in this page. So Maddie, are you stitching color by color? Are you doing color completion? But Maddie's doing 1 page at a time, I'm sure. And, you know, the size of a page in terms of how many blocks or stitches involved is totally arbitrary because Heaven and Earth has got larger pages comparing to Gecko Rouge, for instance. Gecko Rouge has got very small page, like in terms of the number of stitches. A lot tinier. All right, here, where do I go? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See, I'm struggling even just counting 3 stitches. What is the likelihood and the chance of me not miscounting if I do extreme cross country? Oh, this stitch looks a little bit weird. Shelley Lulu's here, says, bit late to the party, hi all. Oh, be here on time for the class, Shelley. You know, I don't ask for a lot for our stitchers, you know, report to the chat. Great to see you. Never too late for a great party. Oh, picking up the husband. Okay, Raja, and yes, enjoy that. Well, maybe it's about time to train him to find, you know, to go home by himself. Give him a GPS device or something, so Raja can stitch in peace, you know. Susan says, I'm happy travel across the whole of the ceiling on traveling library. It means I can drop down on each individual page. That is quite true, because Susan has gone the full width of this piece. And so she knows exactly how big this duvet is going to be, you know, which is handy. And so far, Susan, have you made any mistakes that you have to fix? Because this is the first time Susan stitched such a large piece. Oh, these golden needles are really squeaky. It creates a lot of friction when you stitch. It's really pretty needles, but it's got this weird coating. Can you see that? It's gold needle. I've got a few in a mix, but it's very squeaky. Crafty Tabby Cat says, have we picked a day for our cross-stitch medal pattern start? Not a day as such. So on the 16th, we're going to do our Stitch is So Beautiful marathon first. And it's happening on the 16th, on the Saturday. And then we can pick one Saturday after that. Maybe not direct, you know, not straight after. We can take a little break. And then we can pick another Saturday. I'm trying to think. 16th. So it might be the end of May or the beginning of June, something like that. So we're going to do a proper SAL together. So no date just yet, but it's going to be after the marathon. Travis says, my giant 320 piece puzzle I'm going to donate when I eventually get it finished. The Pokemon puzzle has been sealed and is waiting for a picture frame. You're going to frame it? It looks really big though. Where are you going to put it? Is it going to be bedding for Marek? Is it going to decorate, be, you know, like a bedspread for Marek? It looks quite big though. So you've got another piece you're going to donate. Wow. All right, I'm going to come up here perhaps. And this one has only got 3 stitches. 1, 6, 8. Maddie says, I'm only doing the color completion now because there's only 2 colors left. Once I fill in one, I can start the next. So that's just for within the bound of a page, right? So that's kind of manageable. And Maddie's so organized and keeping track of the number of stitches, whereas me, I'm clueless. Squeaky needle, I know. Do you think, Joyce, do you think they're going to a Janine's bin? These are really pretty, and it's so weird because these ones I got because I heard someone swearing by it. They go, whoa, the golden John James needle is the best. And so I got a few sets, few packs. And immediately I noticed when I stitch, because it feels quite smooth when you run your fingers crossed. But when you stitch, it creates a lot of friction through with the fabric for some reason. So it's got a squeaky, particularly when you pull a needle through in between stitches. It's very squeaky. And I do not know what it is, because for a little while I thought if I keep using them, maybe, maybe there's something on top of the coating. Maybe eventually they're going to be smooth, but not really. It's just the way it is. They're squeaky needles. Joyce, these are special needles. For people, maybe you need that audio feedback. For people, maybe they go, well, silent stitching is just not my thing. I need to know that my needles are actually going through my fabric. So this is perfect. If you like squeaky needles, John James Gold needles, and also they cost twice as much. So for the audio, for the sound effect, okay, you can get those. I don't want to throw them in the bin. They're so pretty. So, it's kind of a random selection. They're just in my mix of needles. Occasionally, if I, pick it up, if I pick up a gold needle, I use it. But of course, I prefer normal needles because the other ones are so smooth. It's like stitching butter. Butter stitching. These are so good. The regular John James needles are my favorite. All right, 168. Janine says, I have some gold needles and I like them. I haven't found them to be squeaky. Maybe different brands. John James needles, unless these ones are faulty for some reason, the coating just creates a lot of friction with the fabric. I don't know what brands Janine's got. All right, next one. 927. 927. Jeannie says, I have DMC gold ones though. Oh, I'd love to try that actually. So DMC's got gold ones as well. Are they easy to thread? Well, I suppose single strand is probably quite easy. I don't know. But not John James. John James it's got comes with special sound effect, okay? It's meant to be that way. And the sensation of, pulling the needle through the fabric. Oh, it's thrilling. The squeaky voice, the squeaky sound is just the best. Hello, walk away. Welcome back. Chris says, I don't have golden ones, but some of mine are also squeaky. I was wondering why they do this. Yeah, so you know what I mean. It's like, why do you want it to want the friction? Maybe some sort of special coating, and surely they're probably aware of this. And they're more expensive as well because of the gold coating. Do you think it's intentional? Are they trying to troll us? So we're going to sit here and ponder upon why. Why are these gold needles make noises? Amanda says they're smooth, but nickel coated, which lots of us have allergies, hence gold plated. Oh dear, hang on a sec, guys. Sorry guys, I just heard some kerfuffle outside with the cats. I heard my neighbor as well. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, my neighbors are just beyond my patio. They have been a little bit difficult. I don't know whether they're animal lovers or not. They just do not come across as very loving people. I've been very patient with them. But you know. So Amanda, I reckon the coating is actually for people who have allergies. Yes, that's fine if there is special coating. It's just that why would they make the coating squeaky? I think I've heard that reason before, but I'm just wondering, can they not make it not squeaky? Joy says, I've got some golden needles too, maybe for other fabric. But on my usual 25 counts, they're not for me. And do you not like it for the same reason that I don't like them very much? Because of the noise? Not just the noise, it's the feedback as well, because you can literally feel the needles being dragged through the stitches. You can feel it. Amanda says, are you using too big a needle? It doesn't squeak if the needles are smaller than the holes. I'm using 28, size 28, which is, I think, is the smallest. Because normal 28 size that I'm using right now, it's perfect. I have no issues. Catherine's using Bowen. Janine says, I only use a threader. I can't thread a needle like you do. Janine, that's why there's a video clip out there to show you how it's done easily. If you practice for a few times, you can do it, for sure. A little bit of air stitching. Okay. Who needs? Oh, Travis, referring to my neighbors. Yes, Travis. Travis says maybe they just need to do some yoga. I know that's what they did. That's what they need really. A little bit of a yoga meditation. I'm normally, because it's always good to maintain really good relationship with your neighbors, because sometimes you need help from them, sometimes the other way around. But it's a couple next door, okay, and I've been very, very patient, but they've been very sort of quite entitled when they ask for things and kind of request things to be done. Particularly with the cat situation, for some reason they think it's 100% my responsibility, and Mr. Yogi as well. They felt that we need to do something about it, but I don't know. I don't have the superpower to control what stray cats do. They have mind of their own and they come and go. And with Lily's situation, I understand. Lily cries, sometimes make noises, but I have no, superpower to control how she meows and how loud it is. Lily just very vocal. And so I've been trying to explain to them, this is the situation. He's not my cat, but I'm doing my best to look after him until there are better solutions, because the charities that will not come in to do anything because they're all inundated with more urgent cases. And so in Lily's case, it's not urgent. He's healthy. He's running around. He's just, a little bit loud. That's it. But they just don't. I don't know. I hate to say this, but they don't come across as very kind people, if you know what I mean. Most people, they do their best to be kind, to be acceptable, and to help. But my neighbors, they're a little bit different. And I think they're looking to sell their property as well. Maybe, I hope it's not the case. I hope they don't think that now they can burn the bridges. Now they're moving forward. They don't care anymore. Yes, they definitely need some yoga. Yes, Catherine says I use size 28 as well. Yes, for single strand. Doesn't matter what fabric count, I always use 28. Amanda says I actually like a little drag in my needles. I look for it. Whoa, like a drag, as in squeak? I can try again. Why don't I try have my gold needle here? See if you can hear it, okay? This is a special demonstration of squeaky needles. This is special, and they cost twice as much. So it comes with a speaker. Wow. Amanda says I like them when they squeak. I don't like them when they squeak though, and my John James do squeak sometimes. My regular John James though, the regular chrome ones, they're totally fine. No problem there. No sound, no drag. Only the gold ones, like this one. Let's have a go. Let's see if it's gonna perform the sound for you, special sound. Can you hear that already? Let me come closer with the microphone. Can you hear that already? Here's my microphone, okay? What kind of live stream is this? Squeaky needle demonstration. Can you hear that? And with my regular needle, okay, this is John James, or my size 28 John James. I'm gonna do the same thing. It's a little bit, okay, a little bit, but I don't feel it. And if I stitch in an unstitched area, no sound. Very little. My gold needle. Well, not too bad. I think it's worse, a lot worse when it's in between stitches. Do you like it? I know. What kind of stream is this? Quality broadcast, okay? Quality broadcast. This is my promise to you. So squeaky. Ah, Joyce. Light bulb moment for Joyce. Joyce says, I know what squeaky needles are for. They're for reverse stitching, like car driving backwards, problem solved. Oh, right. So we reverse stitching. I need to switch to go needles. Is that how it works? So you know someone is reverse stitching because it's so loud. I get it. I get it. So they're reserved for reverse actions. Amazing. Lynn, hello. Says, hello, I have just found a big counting mistakes, and Sally now got a frog about 20 centimeters of border. Which piece are we talking about? Are we talking about traveling library? 20 centimeters of border. That sounds quite a lot. How many stitches is that? My goodness. Oh, Lynn is going to be my frogging buddy. See, it happens even to the best. Have you seen Lynn's stitching? Beautiful. And even Lynn has to frog from time to time. Oh dear. It's okay. We have company. Joy says loud and clear. You just woke up my dog. Oh, poor doggy. I'm so sorry. Please send the invoice for therapy to YouTube, please, or to John James. Yogi is innocent. Walkaway says, I can only thread needles Yogi's way if they happen to have a larger eye. I need more practice. 28 needles, generally, no problem, single strand. But for 26, size 26, I generally thread with 2 strands. I need more generous eyes. So John James 26 size 26, the eyes are a lot more narrow than DMC ones. And so I prefer DMC and prime needles. If it's really narrow, I struggle as well. Can you hear that? It's a power drill. Rajan says, my husband never listened. He chose to go now. He cannot handle heat. Even he was born there. Right. I mean, heat is difficult. I think it's very hard to get used to. I think if you live in somewhere, if you live in sort of a country or wherever, that's really hard. I think at best, you probably have more sort of coping strategies to cope with heat. It doesn't mean you're automatically just okay with heat, because it's quite hard. Daria says, I'm doing extreme reverse stitching. Extreme reverse stitching. About 100 stitches. Oh, that's a big reversal. Dear, oh dear. Would you like to borrow my gold needles, Daria? I think I can lend you some reverse stitching, purpose needles. I think you want to do it properly, don't you? One, two, three. That's not squeaky. It sounds like the needle's just complaining, going, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this anymore. All right, so last stitch of this one. Oh, so Lynn. Okay, so it's a sampler. So not Traveling Library. It's a Quaker, which is kind of a sampler type of. So 25 centimeters, depending on how full the stitches are. It's still a lot though. It's still a lot. Oh dear. Have you miscounted the stitches? Please say yes, so I don't feel I'm alone in miscounting. 07. Janine, do not listen to Janine, okay, Lynn. Janine's going, in the bin it goes. It's reverse psychology, Janine's saying. So what Janine's saying to you, Lynn, is say, please, please save the project. Do not throw it in the bin or fire pit, okay? Do not do that. Lynn, poor Lynn. Poor Lynn is like saying, I can't bin it. It's done, it's 63% done, Janine. Have mercy. Do not listen to her, okay? Chris says, I use 26 mil ward. The eye is bigger than DMC. Wow, bigger than DMC. I find DMC quite 26, size 26, very generous. And so it's even bigger. So I suppose as long as it's not bigger than the sort of, the corners, the holes. Walkaway says, there must be my trouble yogi currently using John James's 26. Yes, the 26, 28, I only thread with one strand, so it's quite easy for me. But 26, depending on whether you thread it with a single or double strand. If it's a single strand, it should be okay. But if you're doing double, which that's what I use 26 for, and it's quite tricky. It's quite tricky. Very, very flat. The eyes are very flat. And thank you for the membership, BS. Mira, hello, welcome to Yogi Squad. Thank you for joining in. Yes, welcome, welcome. Thank you for your support. Yes, I think that the size of the eyes definitely, pay attention to the needles you get. If you have, particularly if you have issues threading, a lot of times it's just, some needles have a lot flatter eyes and some have more generous eyes, more round. And if you change the brand of your needles, it might change the game completely. The next one, 3A60. And BS Mirror, thank you. And let me know what you're stitching today. Are you stitching Aimee Stewart? If not, why not? I need full report. One, two. Clara says, I've never heard of millward. I don't know, maybe they're European. I don't know. They do kind of embroidery accessories. They do embroidery hoops as well. And also knitting needles. I'm pretty sure they probably do knitting needles because it's quite a familiar brand. And Lynn says, luckily it's 20 count, so it should be easier to frog. It's the price you pay with ungridded. So Lynn is in the alien territory. Not only she's, quite fast, but also she's an ungridder. Where's Sarah? But Lynn is firmly in the alien club anyway, looking at her stitching. But yes, 20 count is slightly better. Yes, that's a saving grace. A little bit better than 28, And also the density of the stitches hopefully is not completely full. So maybe it's not too bad. And Lynn, do you have some special frogging techniques that you can share? Because I'd just like to know. Is it just good old-fashioned elbow grease? Or is there some sort of magic formula that you can just, gently stroke the stitches and they just come off like that, like an eraser? You just like a, eraser, you just erase all the stitches. That's my dream. That's my fantasy, guys. I'm hoping the technology, the science will catch up at some point. We'll have a stitch eraser. Squeaky gate. Exactly. See, with the chrome ones, even through, pretty tight fit between stitches, you don't hear anything. There's a little bit of drag, which is probably expected with any needle, but no sound. Not like, just needle screaming. One, two. 1, 2 here. Amanda says, now I'm trying out half cross on Sweet Dreams to see if I like that. If I don't, I just go back and finish the cross. Okay, but the thing is though, if you go back and finish the other half, wouldn't you double the coverage? So for instance, if you do half cross, you double the strand, right? Let's say if you do single strand full cross, when you do half cross, 10 stitches, you stitch with 2 strands, so you provide the same amount of coverage. So if you don't like your 10 stitches and go back to finish the other 10, the other leg, second leg, wouldn't you increase the bulk? Because if you do want to switch, let me see which fabric count that you're doing. For 25 counts and 28 counts, I have switched from tent to full cross before, but you have to adjust the amount of the thread, you know, number of strands. So if you switch from full cross 1/1 single strand to 10 stitches, you have to start stitching with 2 strands. And the coverage is very similar. You probably can't tell from a distance. And vice versa, I'm thinking. Brittany says, time for sushi. See you guys tomorrow. Okay. Enjoy your sushi, Brittany. I hope you enjoy your session. Oh, Suzanne says Millward are British. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought maybe just European. That's why it's maybe not very visible, not very popular in America. It's possible, yes. But I'm a little bit iffy about their hoops, though. I do have a few from them. They're not very sturdy. They're not the best I've used. And Suzanne says they're owned by Coats now. Oh, I see. Yes, I have a lot of their needles, but not for cross stitching. I have a lot of sewing needles and embroidery needles from them. Oops. Laura says, I only buy 100 pack needles from Amazon. I lose too many to get brand names. Well, I can top them up slowly. And how much does it cost you for 100 pieces from Amazon? 100 packs. So we're not talking about 100 needles. So let's say if there's 6 needles in the pack, that's 600, is it? I think John James, luckily, if you buy them from the right vendors, they're quite affordable, because one pack of I think 5 needles or 6 needles, it's just under £2. So under £2, and if I get like 10 packs at a time, that's about, 10, that's about 60 needles at a time. And I just top them up gradually. And I lose some and I break some. But, you know, seems to be doable. So these ones are done. Lynn Berger says, my wish would be to leave it in the greenhouse overnight, and hopefully Fairy will work on it while I sleep. And that's beautiful. Well, I didn't know that the Fairy option existed. That's really nice. That's even better. So basically, I don't have to do anything. I just leave it in a greenhouse. But the problem is, I need to find a greenhouse somewhere for that to happen. I don't have a greenhouse. I don't even have a green plant currently in the house. They all die very quickly for some reason. 3860. Can I just leave it under the pillow? Do you think the Fairy would come and visit? 3860. Three, 860. Walkaway says, I like the sound of the thread pulling through. Like on stitching masterpieces, floss tube videos. That's different. Walkaway. What you're talking about is the thread. But what we witnessed or heard was the needle getting dragged through. That's a totally different sound. And I'm with you, Walkaway. I love the sound of the thread being pulled through, even though some purists might go, well, that's threads kind of screaming. And it creates friction for the thread, but I don't mind. Their suffering is my pleasure, you know. But the needles being dragged through is a different story. It feels like the needle just screaming and go, no. And I feel bad, okay. And so Amanda says normally you would increase the bulk. So you're stitching 32 counts, just one strand. But whichever way, if you do 10, you need to double the amount of coverage, don't you? So that's my question. Lynn's trick is leave them a plate of chocolate for service. I see. So if I place my Gecko Rouge under my pillow and with some chocolate, you know, I do have some Black Forest chocolate. Do you think that's going to work? When I wake up, would the chocolate just melt on the bed sheet? Probably would. Or maybe I just sleep eating chocolate, you know, and when I wake up, there's nothing for the Fairy because I just ate them all. And 3817, next one. 3817. 3817. Amanda, so you're stitching with 10 stitches, 32 counts, with single strand first. Right, so what you're checking is not so much if you like 10 stitches. You're trying to check if you like the coverage. I see. Well, I think the coverage for 32 counts is definitely better with full cross, because 10 stitches, the coverage for me is questionable. But the problem is, it's not easy to stitch for me anyway. Full cross, it's very full, particularly when you have color changes, a little bit more confetti. It becomes very, very bulky to stitch. Suzanne is hitting 9%. 500. Oh, got my 500 in. So that's a daily 500, is it? My day will have to be very long for me to do 500. It has to be 48 hours. But good for you, Suzanne. Gray says, I bought those from Amazon and they work well. No squeaking. Oh, needles. Yes, I think if they're pretty decent quality, and also they don't rust. So that's kind of probably the only thing you need to... Oh, have I stitched in the wrong place? Yes, I have. I have. Oh, no, I haven't. So why does it look like this? The shape doesn't match for some reason. It's here. Oh, indeed, I stitched in the wrong area. I spotted it. Okay, guys, nothing to see here. Because some patterns, some shapes start to look kind of similar. That's my excuse. So I'm going to just tease this out. It's supposed to be here, and I ended up stitching here. See, could happen easily. I was wondering why the colors are so light for the area. Ah, I was about to check. Laura says they get a bit tarnished after a while, but I enjoy them. I have size 24 larger eyes, and I recently got size 26. Haven't tried yet. Yes, I suppose if they go rusty, then that's a bit of a shame. But the thing is, you know, you can look up John James. They're not too pricey. I don't know about America. I suppose they're probably even cheaper. But over here, John James, depends on where you buy the needles, sometimes can be double the price with identical needles. So it's all a bit random. So you have to shop around. So Raja is buying from Amazon as well. There are a lot of Amazon brand stuff, I noticed. And they tend to be more sort of, you know, a little bit cheaper, but hopefully decent quality because it's got Amazon brand. They don't want you to think that they're all rubbish. Suzanne says, so Dream Stitch has both Bowen and John James on their needles 100, but seems only 24 and 26. John James is £8.44 for 100. I'm trying to work out for 100 John James needles, how does that work out every pack of 5 or 6? My maths is terrible. Suzanne can probably count better. But the thing is, Bowen in the UK, as far as I could see, they're double the price comparing to John James. So I have not bought any. Even though I've heard a lot of good things about them. But it's just that, you know, the sheer number of needles I need. I kind of don't want to pay double for it. Susan says, the fairy has already visited your duvet and floss, Yogi. No, that probably wasn't fairy, okay? That was something else. It was boogeyman. I mean, fairy would not take away my floss. And gave me a mutated duvet cover. They will not do that. Hi, Lona. Hello. Darling, how are you? Great to see you. I hope everything's well with you and Mummy. Amanda says, I pay $6 for 3 John James Gold needles. Pack of 3? Do they come in 3? $6. That sounds quite a lot, actually. I think gold needles, because the regular John James needles with 5 or 6 in the pack, maybe 5, it's just under £2. Let's say £2. The gold one, I think, is about double. So we're talking about £4. But $6, well, maybe roughly about the same. I don't know what the conversion rate is. For a pack with less number of needles, you're right. I think they only come in 3 per pack, but double the price per pack. So Bowen needles are French. Yes, but over here, they're priced so high, probably because not many people buy them, perhaps. Or maybe they have to import or something. What about John James? Is John James British? I don't know. Yes, I've heard a lot of great things about Bowen. I think, was it Needlebark saying that it's like stitching butter or something like that. But they're not very easy to find. And if you do find them, the prices are a little bit ridiculous. Manda says the gold ones come in 3 for a pack. The regular ones are also expensive. 5 to 6 needles for 5 needles, unless you can find somewhere to buy in bulk. So maybe they're priced a little bit more in America. I don't know. Maybe they need to, depend on where they're made. Maybe there's import as well. But over here, depends. Some vendors, some websites you go, they sell them in for about £3 to £4 for the chrome ones. But I found one. If you're in the UK, I recommend Merry Cross Stitch website. Their price under £2. So sometimes I buy 10 packs at a time or something and just top it up gradually. You know, I just need to lose less than the amount I buy. I just need to control the rate I lose my needles. Lona says we're doing okay. I've been fighting a headache for 4 days, and what with a headache but still stitching. Oh, that's a spirit, Lona. Yes, and have proper rest as well. Headache is so annoying, isn't it? And drink plenty of liquid. Lona says I worked on several whips yesterday and still got over what? 1,300 stitches. Just yesterday with a headache. Lona, what happens if you don't have a headache? That's terrifying. 1,300 stitches on my glistening wings. That's the Heaven and the HAED SAL piece. And Lona says I worked on 4 whips today and have over 500 stitches done so far. This is why, Lona, you're an alien. And what happened to your alien mug? You need to ask them to send it to you because you're an alien stitcher. You need our mug, okay? You need to contact them and get them to send you another one. Wow, 500 on a slow day. All right, all right. Stop bragging. Shayla, hello. Shayla Bell says, hi Yogi in chat. Alert to join needle discussion. I buy John James needles direct from the factory. I buy 1,000 at a time. I remember someone mentioned that from JJ. Was that you, Shayla? Because I remember, and I heard that, but I forgot about it completely afterwards. Apparently, you can buy directly from the factory. And where's the factory? So 1,000 at a time. And how much does that cost you? Is it a lot cheaper if you buy 1,000 at a time? Lona says, I wish I knew where my mug is. No, Lona, you don't have to wonder. You just have to tell them to send you another one. Just tell them, because they have a way to track the shipping. If they send you a notification for shipping, that means they send it out and they can track where the parcel, whether the parcel has been delivered or not. And it's not uncommon, things sometimes get lost in mail. So definitely contact them. Just tell them, just send me another one. Or I'm going to write really bad reviews about your products. Well, not Yogi, okay? But their company. So just make sure you do not go, well, it's Yogi. I caused the problem. I mean, I gave them the design and they do the rest. So So you don't have to worry about where it's gone. You just have to tell them to send you another one. Lona says, I already taken 2 naps today. My ear hurts. It's really bothering me. Oh dear. Do you know why it is though? If it's reoccurring, there's got to be a reason. And because your head shouldn't hurt. That doesn't make sense. And a headache is slowing you down, isn't it? Normally it's like 2,000 stitches, but today only 500. Dear, oh dear. Yes, John James Factory. Are they European? Are they British? I wonder. Lona says, who do I get in touch with? You know, if you ever got notification from them for shipping, there must be a contact respond email. If not, go to the chat and put in the date that that you. I'll look it up for you later on. I'll see if I can find. There must be a customer service email there. But otherwise, just tell them through the chat. It doesn't matter if you're chatting to a bot. You just go, I need either that or refund, right? You can ask for them to send it to you or refund. You can pick one or the other. But they have to do something about it. Susan's theory is Lona's mark is with Yogi's flaws. They go together, don't they? Because you really need those alien marks to do stitching. I know, they're probably in the same dimension, just happily together. I mean, it's not unusual through delivery. Sometimes things just don't get sent properly for some reason. So do not worry. You just need to tell them to either send it to you again or demand refund. Just say, I did not receive it. If you think I received it, prove it. Where's your posting, trail? Delivering trail. Prove it to me. Lona says it's the first ear ache I've had in years. You need to have it checked out. If it's reoccurring, that's not pleasant. Because sometimes you can hear, sometimes it doesn't happen very often with me, but sometimes you can hear a little bit of humming through the ears for whatever reason. And normally it doesn't last for very long, maybe for half an hour or something, and it goes away. But when it's happening, it's very, it's very uncomfortable. And Donna says hello. Hello to you, Donna. Lona says it's been over 90 days. I can't even find my order number. That's what they asked for. Ignore that because, I think the last time you said you had the order number. So but they cannot track it beyond 90 days. Is that the case? Or you do not have the order number? You should have it because it's in your email. And if you have it, give it to them. If not, just give them your name and the date you purchased it. You should have the email trail of that because they have to be able to track it in some way. So you need to give them some information, but they can definitely find it. Because otherwise, you'll be alien mark less, you know? That'll be terrible. Shayla says, their UK company, 1,028 needles is currently £78.85. So how does that, do you have to buy 1,000 at a time? That sounds quite a lot. So that works out, each needle is, I can't do the math. Is it under 10p? Well, I don't know. How does that work? 70p. And for 6 needles, to be honest, depending on how much each needle is, I think cross stitch, Merry cross stitch works out quite cheap. I'm trying to think, under £2 for 6 needles. So each needle is about 50p. Janine says, I have ringing in the ear, never stops. Really? Never stops. And it's slowly taking my hearing away. It's so annoying. They can't do anything about it. Really? So there's no reason and no cure? That sounds quite strange. That's not good. Janine, you need to be able to hear the squeaking of the needles, okay? And you need to be able to hear yogi, most importantly. But I think doctors are generally quite clueless about, you know, I wouldn't say minor symptoms. I think they have very clear idea about illnesses, like, you know, major illnesses, but for sort of symptoms that could be one way or the other, like headaches could be caused by so many things. And also the hearing situation as well, that could be caused by so many things. They're actually quite clueless about these things. They might give you some medications or something, but they don't know what it is. So Lona is not hearing sound, but having pain in the inner ear. That's not good, Lona. You need to have it checked up. So Lona says, I can't find my order number. Oh, so it's you couldn't find it, not that they don't recognize it. But why wouldn't you have your order number? You should have got emails when you place an order, and that's where your order number. It's in your mailbox. Yes. It doesn't matter when you ordered it. It should be in your mailbox. Jeanine, oh dear. Jeanine says, I can still hear you, Yogi, for now. Don't say stuff like that. Can you imagine? You know, I'll have to communicate with Janine with sign language, you know, sometime in the future. Janine, fix it. There must be a way. There must be something that they can do. For now. Oh, Sheila says it's 7.9 pence per needle. That's super cheap. That is super cheap. I cannot do maths, you see. So with if I buy from the online vendor, which is £2 for 6 needles, so that works out less than 50. I cannot count. No, it's less than, it's probably about 30 pence. That is super cheap, but I don't want 1,000 at a time. That sounds quite a lot. Can I buy 20? No, I'm kidding. Can I buy 100? I wonder. Janine says, I guess it's a brain issue, not an ear problem. And that's what they tell me. They don't know what causes it. That's very rubbish of them. Yes, just because it's brain, it doesn't mean that they should just go, hey, I don't know. It's the brain that does it. Maybe get a second opinion. If you go to a doctor, go to another one. Do a bit of a doctor shopping. It's important. The hearing is important. You don't want to, you know, just leave it. 927. Oh, what? I looked at a totally wrong number, 727. I was wondering, why is it yellow? 927. I can't read. Can't count. Can barely stitch. All right, this is a quality broadcast. Quality stitching here, okay? Hello, Bex. How are you? Bex says good morning from Australia. Lona says they only go back 60 days in order history. That doesn't make sense. Lona, do not let them just do that. First of all, if you can't find an order number, just give them your email address and the date that you ordered it. They can find it. Okay, if they can't, I doubt very much. They've got a database. They have timestamp and everything. Just give them your email address. Maybe not email address, the time you order and your whatever details that you can verify that you place an order. They can find it. Lona. Okay, you don't need Yogi to give you technical support, okay? Lona says, I have thousands of emails. I try to go back and find an email. Just type in keywords, darling. The search function. Just type in alien mug. I don't believe you have that many emails with alien, the word alien, you know, in it. You're going to find it immediately. Do a search, Lona. Oh, so it's genetic, you think? So Janine says, my mom has the same thing, so I blame her. And how is her hearing going? Because first of all, it's the quality of life. If it's not comfortable, it doesn't matter if you can still hear anything. It's just not happy, right? You know, not to feel pain, Janine, is your birthright. Do not settle. Do not settle for discomfort. Do not just think, oh, it's okay. My body will learn to adapt to it. Do not do that. It's your birthright to feel well. I think I stitched in the wrong spot again. Oh, well done, Yogi. It's actually over here. That's why it doesn't match. I spotted it. I spotted it. Nothing to see here. Okay, I should use my golden needle. My gold needle for reverse stitching. Okay, here it comes. This is just for the occasion. But I can't frog anymore. 1, 2, 3. 4. It's that one as well. Yes. The gold needle reverse stitching. Oh dear, this bit is not happy. I'm going to just cut it here. I'll just stitch over it. Grace says, you can count to 5 though. Yes, I'm very proud, Grace. I can count to 5 breaths. Yes, I can. Well, but sometimes I count it wrong because particularly with harder poses, okay? And I normally count backwards so the students knows, they kind of know that there are only 5 breaths. If I count forward, they don't know where I'm going. I could start with 1 and count to 15, you know, they panic. So I normally count backwards. I go 5, 4, you know, and that's fine. But sometimes if I count the breaths as well, so I can just count 5, 4, 3, you know, and down to 1. But sometimes I count the breaths. I go 1 inhale and exhale, 2 inhale and exhale. If I do that, if I do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sometimes I get mixed up. Sometimes I start counting forward. So you can see the student's face just go, what? I thought we're down to 2 and you go up to 4. So sometimes I can't even count to 5. So but I like to think that I can. 1, 2, 1, 2 here. Oh, this is a little bit hard to read. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think all these ones. 1, 2. This one, okay. Janine says, you know what they told me? Put headphones on and drown out the ringing that way. I was like, what? What, Janine? Change doctors. You know, if they start talking like that, you know they're not interested and they have no idea what they're doing. Have a second opinion, third one. Sometimes it's just a matter of finding a doctor that's sympathetic and they're willing, even if they don't know, they're willing to explore and maybe find out, because doctors, sometimes their knowledge is only based on the things they know, and they're not really learning new things. So if a doctor started to drown out the sound as a cure, you know you cannot deal with them. Time to change doctors. think doctors are ultimately just people, and some of them are lazy, to be honest. And I think the remedy they gave you is akin to, you know, if someone has a headache and someone tells you the way to cure your headache is punch yourself in the face. To create more pain, it would drown out your headache. The headache would instantly feel a lot better because you're focusing on your on being punched in the face. See, this is not a plain ceiling. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Ginny says doctors are wax, in my opinion. They're good ones because they're, you know, some doctors, they just used to dealing with the same type of stuff and they're not willing to learn new things. And there are doctors like that, you know. Particularly a lot of GPs. They're just used to dealing with familiar symptoms and anything they don't know. The good ones would at least refer you to a different doctor. They would not tell you to just drown out noise. Ah, it's so absurd. Nine two seven. Betty says, I have the ringing. They put me on heating aids. That worked, but after a few months, and just have to put them away, couldn't handle it. But it sounds more like a remedy rather than finding out why the ears ringing. Is that something that's, you know, in terms of causes? If you don't cure the root, you're just kind of managing the symptoms, which is important as well in the meantime. But if they don't know what is causing it, then, you know, how do you treat it? Rachel says, just got home and got cats fed. Very nice. Today I've been feeding a lot of cats, like every day. Catherine says, go for an audiologist. I didn't know there was such a specialist. Yes, because if you go to GP and a GP doesn't have a clue, they should refer you to somebody that might know. They're not going to just tell you, we don't know, and that's it. That's not how it works. Three 3813. And you'd be surprised the difference in, you know, doctors. You can have one person who just doesn't really care. They just want to, you know, move on to the next patient. And you have ones that genuinely taking interest. You know, this is why doctors are originally healers. Because back in those days, before the Western science, medical science, took over with everything with, comes with some sort of test and devices and whatever. Doctors are therapists, really. They're people with healing power, with knowledge, but also with that human element to it. It makes so much difference. Imagine a doctor, you go in the room and they just stare at a computer looking at your personal information, whatever they need to process, and ask you for whatever it is, and they just look at you. They just talk to you, not even looking at your face, not looking into your eyes, and just give you technical information and clinical information. Imagine that versus you go into a room, here's this doctor making eye contact with you and start checking with you, start a conversation and go try to figure out your daily sort of day-to-day routine to gain some understanding of who you are as a person. Well, I'm not talking about chit-chat. I'm talking about, how's your diet going and how's your sleep going? Because all these things are, part of our health. A lot of times when we have certain symptoms, it's not because the body parts that's malfunctioning. It's the whole system. Something goes wrong to cause those symptoms. And if they're, nowadays we think about the word holistic as if it's really woo-woo. It's not. It's about you as a being, as a whole. You're not body parts. You're not ears. You're not heart. You're not intestines. You are a whole being, and everything's working together. So if one area is malfunctioning, it's not because your ears necessarily. It could be something else. So if you have a doctor that genuinely care about you as a person, that's where the healing is going to come from, through their knowledge. Now we have a lot, technical information, knowledge as well. But it's so important to find a human being as a doctor rather than kind of technician. Oh, I'm mad. Because I went through a lot of that with my parents when they went through a lot of health challenges, major illnesses. And it's infuriating when you walk into a room with a doctor, they do not even look at you. It's just, you want to punch them. Oh, 3813. Hey, Dolly. Hey, babe. How you doing? You want to say hello? No. Oh, it's walking out of the room. Hello, babe. It's okay, babe. It's okay, babe. Janine says millions of people have it. Some worse than others. I've had it for 20 years. Forget what silence sound like. But Janine is not normal. So this is like if you have a pair of shoes that you have to wear every day in order to walk, and they're really badly designed and ill-fitted. But if you have to wear them, you probably learn how to walk in those shoes. But it doesn't mean those shoes are good shoes. You know what I mean? Sometimes we settle for discomfort. You shouldn't. You should never settle for discomfort. Because our body is constantly telling us something we need to fix, or something, whatever it is going not the way it should be. It's a message. So just because you're kind of used to not dealing with it doesn't mean it's any shape or form normal. I know it's easy to say because sometimes we have kinks, in our body that we kind of go, oh, let me just cope with it. But my message would be, do not cope with it. I mean, its body's message is trying to tell you something. And so listen to it. Listen to it. Jackie Turner says, I use Ordizen drops and it doesn't get rid of the tannate. tinnitus, I can't pronounce it, but the ear condition. And so it calms the noise, does it? Betty says stitching helps me a lot. I think it's kind of probably redirect your attention to something else, isn't it? It's looking for email. Lola says, I can't find an email, but I don't know the name of whom it's from. It doesn't matter, Lola, because if you bought the alien mug, the item name is probably part of the email. You don't have to search for the origin of the email. You can just find keywords. So if you type in alien, try that, Lola. Try type in alien mug and something will come up. Unless you talk about aliens all the time, so it's all over the place. Cassie says my brother had ring in his ears for a while. It was from aspirin. Ah, so it's a reaction to medication. Grace says stress plays a big part of your health. I get tension headaches and muscle and neck from stress. Absolutely. Stress is actually one of the biggest, issues for a lot of people because it could manifest in so many different ways. And a lot of those, discomfort of the body is coming from stress. You're absolutely right. So, that's why taking care of your mind is just as important as your diet or exercise or whatever. Exercise promotes better mood. And I know I'm biased, but a little bit of yoga every day is really nice, really nice. Even just breath work. You don't have to do, handstand, okay? But just breathing. It's yoga. It's a yoga practice. Just breathing is yoga. And, vinyasa basically means breath. And that's all that is. It's all about breath. The rest will follow. But if you breathe, it means if you think about your body being all sorts of channels going to different, within the inner structure of your body flowing through, because the body is not just a machine, but also there is, you guys probably have heard of, chi and stuff like that, which is breath. It's flowing through, the energy is flowing through all the time. And how do you promote the smooth flowing of the energy? It's through breath. It's as simple as that. Breathe and deep breath as well. Really breathe consciously, and your body will get used to deep breathing, and your body would crave for deep breathing. So in the very beginning, when people start practicing Ujjayi breath, and I joke about having Ujjayi breath, but it's life-saving, and there are different ways of breathing exercise you can do. You can look up on YouTube. They're everywhere. There are breaths for calming, there are breaths for warming, there are breaths for all sorts of things. But if you just practice deep breathing, just breathe naturally through the nose or the mouth, you can switch up and just get the energy flowing, guys. get the energy flowing. And it's so simple. You don't have to sit down, dedicate half an hour for it. You just sit there for a few seconds, just breathe for a few times and do that throughout the day. If you get stressed, deep breaths. Just do that without, no expectations, not like it's a magic cure, but it will make so much difference because when you breathe, the inner space opens. And this is not woo-woo talk. It's literally, it opens the space inside. And when your body has space inside, when everything's flowing through smoothly, everything works better. And mentally, it works better. Please breathe. Breathe consciously. And, you do not need special techniques. You just need to breathe through and just give it a chance, deep breathing. And it will make a world of difference, a world of difference. Yes, any kind of postal delivery, there's a way to track it. Even so, when they can't, if, the company goes, we just don't know where it goes, they will give you a refund or send you another one. Because if they can't even track it, you can't either. So, they will take care of it. Hello, Peaches. Welcome. Lona says, I searched for alien mug and alien coffee mug and insurance companies all that come up. Alien insurance company? what kind of insurance have you been having? Is there insurance for alien invasion? Exactly, Laura. Either mug or alien mug or whatever. The company is called Spring, so Spring is more generic as a term, but you will be able to find it, Lona. The technology is there. Hi, Cherry Bomb. See you later, Susan. 99, low battery. Sweet dreams. Uh, 927, and it's 12:30. I'm gonna do maybe another color. 927. So let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So these will be the last 6, 7 stitches I'm doing here. Hello, Steve. Hello. How are you, Steve? And 4 more stitches. Steve has been doing yarn work. Oh wow, heavy duty yarn work. Well, time to relax then. The weather is getting better, isn't it? Okay, so that's my last stitch here. And I'll show you what happened today on my fabric. (927). Right. Let me show you what's happening. Can you see that little box? That big box, actually, not little. That big box has softened a little bit. So in the beginning, this whole corner was not stitched. So I think it's gone pretty nicely. And so today I'm focusing on a little bit of a groundwork, okay? It's way overdue. And so this piece have this block missing for a long, long time that I tried to escape from. And today, you know, just getting my head down and do some mini cross country of this area. I think it's looking really nice. And also it was quite enjoyable actually. It wasn't bad at all because it's not too confetti. You know, I just need to be mindful not to stitch in areas that look very similar sometimes. So I just need to be a little bit more mindful, double checking the colors, etc. But otherwise, it's doable. It's doable. I think down here, when there's more pink, it might be even easier because here you can see there's more transitions, changes of colors. But down here is kind of a big area of pink. So hopefully once this area is all done, it will feel a little bit more, I probably feel less guilty for stitching cakes because I just feel like there's one piece missing here. So I really enjoy that. Let me just zoom way out so you can have a look. Not bad at all. I'm very, very happy. So yeah, so let me show you my app here. Of course, I'm going to share with you my stitch count here. Let me just zoom out a tiny bit more so you can see that. See, this is really fun here. And it was very, very confetti, okay, this area as well. But, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. All right, let me show you my app view here. Just have a look here. So with this piece, it's a full size Heaven and Earth pattern with max colors, close to 240. And Grace says, Yogi, I think it will be your most stitches yet. Really? Do you think? Well, we'll find out. I doubt it, but I like the confidence. I like the confidence you have, Grace. Thank you so much. And we'll find out whether it's more than 60 stitches, you know. That my bar is pretty low. And, you know, quality forecast, but the standard for a stitch count is pretty low. So here we go. So this is the full area that's completed actually from the upper left, and bit of ceiling, bit of wall, bit of everything. And I'm going to count down to 3, 2, and 1. Okay, okay. Oh, the Beck says, don't forget to mark off the last 4 stitches. Let me double check. Let me double check. Do I need to? Let me have, yes, because I normally forget to do the final 4. Have I done it? What was even the last? It's lost cause here. Where I don't even know where the last 4 I stitched. Maybe this one. Yes, I think I have. I think I have. Yes, sometimes I forget to do the last 2. But look at this. Not bad at all. 284 and under 4 hours, you know, and talking about everything. So it's, you know, anything above 200 is pretty decent, pretty decent. And Steve says, didn't realize how much progress you have on this. Yes, not bad, is it? And currently I'm over 15.5%. So not bad at all. I'm not mad at all. Not mad at all. And I'm happy to do a bit of a groundwork, and I'll keep doing it. And until it's completed, then I can, come down here to do my cake stitching guilt-free. Okay. And I'll probably start to fill in the gap as well. So I don't look like I'm trying to escape to cakes. All right. One step at a time. And yes, it's quite, pleasurable. Quite fun to do, actually. And thank you so much, guys. And round of applause for Yogi as usual. Yes, I win every single night. And I hope you're winning as well. And with your pieces, whatever you're stitching there, and enjoy the experience as well. And tomorrow we're coming back for a spot of a Sunday stitching, of course. And do not forget, we also have Monday, a special Monday broadcast. Because of a bank holiday in London. Thank you, Steve. We missed the hot chili. Look at this. Chili. Steve used to provide hot chili every night for stitchers. And so we missed that. Thank you, Steve. And that's so nice. And so give us some Dolly love. I know Dolly is neglecting her duty. She will have to bounce back. Otherwise, the contract is not going to be renewed. Okay. And we'll have a proper talk with Dolly there, and give me some 99 as well. Send me to bed. I have early classes tomorrow. So until tomorrow that we meet in the UK evening time, and take care of yourself. And Yogi signing out, guys. And love you all. Thank you for the support. And I'll see you tomorrow with stitching another project. Bye bye. Nighty night, everyone.